Hi everybody, quick reminder, don't forget to check out the on-screen end cards towards the end of the video, as well as the merch shelf and links down in the description below to explore my new Outcast comic book series. And I just have to say that I genuinely appreciate all of the support that's been shown for this new adventure. Now I hope you're having a great day, and let's dive in to Wolverine Noir. Being created by writer Stuart Moore and artist C.P. Smith in the 4-issue miniseries Wolverine Noir that was released in 2009, Jim Logan Howlett is an alternate version of Wolverine existing within the Marvel's Noir universe, which is Earth 90214. Unlike his mainstream Earth 616 counterpart, this incarnation is not a mutant superhero, but a cynical, chain-smoking, hard-boiled private eye operating in the grimy Depression-era underbelly of 1937 Bowery, New York. Raised by a passionate, fire and brimstone preacher known as Reverend Howlett, Jim was taught that more restraint separates man from beasts. However, Jim struggled with violent instincts. He found guidance under his family's groundskeeper, Smitty, an expert in Eastern martial arts who trained Jim in Japanese knife fighting techniques. Followed by a tragic, violent past involving his childhood sweetheart Rose and his hot-tempered brother Dog Logan, Jim left his old life behind and opened the Logan & Logan Detective Agency alongside Dog, who was left mentally impaired from past trauma. Now, as I mentioned, interestingly, Earth 90214 strips away all superhuman elements of Wolverine. In this universe, he has no mutant healing factor. Jim can't regenerate from fatal wounds or survive catastrophic damage. Every cut, gunshot, and concussion takes a permanent physical toll. Likewise, he has no adamantium skeleton or bone claws. He possesses natural human bone structure and anatomy. However, he does have custom clawed weaponry, because in place of biological claws, Jim utilizes modified hand rigs equipped with 3 spring-loaded razor-sharp steel blades strapped to each hand, allowing him to mimic the lethal strikes of his Earth 616 counterpart. Additionally, he's a master knife fighter and martial artist, because being trained extensively by Smitty in Tantojutsu, which is Japanese knife fighting, and Kunjutsu, which is swordsmanship, Jim is the deadliest blade fighter in the Bowery, capable of neutralizing multiple armed assailants in close quarters melees. He also has peak natural physical durability in brawling. Possessing immense pain tolerance and street-level brawling prowess, he's exceptionally difficult to keep down in a fist fight. And to round all of this out, he has master investigative deduction and tracking, being a sharp, street-smart investigator skilled in interrogation, shadow surveillance, and forensic deduction in urban environments. Now, we see within the Wolverine Noir series that Jim and Dog are hired by a Japanese businesswoman named Mariko Yashida, who claims hotel owner and mob boss Victor Creed is tailing her. Dog attempts to investigate Creed at the Puritan Hotel and goes missing. Naturally, Jim then digs deeper into the underworld, battling through Creed's blade-wielding enforcers and crossing paths with Yuriko Oyama. However, the case spirals into a dark conspiracy orchestrated by Jim's former flame, Rose, who had survived their past with severe facial scars and aligned with Victor Creed to profit from the looming Sino-Japanese conflict in World War II. And in a brutal climax at a train depot, Jim is forced to watch Dog die beneath a moving train, followed immediately by Rose shooting Mariko dead in cold blood. And it's at this point that we see Wolverine Noir still has that berserker rage. Because being overcome with grief and animalistic fury, Jim cuts down all of Creed's men with dual katanas. We then see Creed flee, and Jim confronts the twisted Rose, rejecting her plea to rebuild their past together. Overall, the miniseries concludes on a bleak, classic noir note, with Jim walking alone through the Bowery, mourning those he lost, and accepting his fate as a condemned man caught between humanity and animal instinct. Now, for his abilities and his influence on the Marvel Noir universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Wolverine Noir a rating of 5, which is an enigmatic rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe to The New Sage.